my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything.
Hello, betters. Welcome to the live stream. So good to have you here. It is Friday, September 27th. For me, depending on where you are in the world, it could be the next day. You could be in the future, which is always awesome. So, as always, I would like to thank all of the moderators that are in the chat right now, running everything. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I really appreciate it. As always, of course, you guys know how much love I have for you. And everyone else that's in the chat, please just respect the moderators and what they have to do. It's not easy. So shout out to them. Shout out to all the YouTube members who are in there. I see you. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We had a great members only live stream a couple days ago. That went really well. I'll be doing those quite often. So please, if you haven't already, become a YouTube member, and you can do that. All we do is just talk to each other. That's it. We just hang out and talk. It's just a nice Q&A, and it's awesome. We talk about different stories, and I hear what everyone else has to say, and I love it. So thank you guys so much. And as well, if you want to, you can join our Patreon, where I've been uploading basically just stuff that can't make it to YouTube, right? A lot of different stuff, extended scenes of interviews. For instance, the Ron James interview that I did, there's about 20 minutes of that interview that I couldn't include because it was definitely too hot for YouTube. So if you go to our Patreon, you'll be able to see it there, and any other maybe video they got pulled down or something like that, right? It's all on there. So thank you guys so much. The Patreon support has been nothing but awesome. I know that they started a little group, I don't mean it like that. They started a group. Some of the Patreon members got together and basically made a Facebook fan page for Vetted, and they're meeting every Fridays on like a Google Meet or a Zoom or something, right, to sort of hang out. So if you want to be a part of that, you can find that information in the Patreon. I have posted the link for that to hang out. And tonight, Friday, actually, I will be making a short appearance to say what's up, see what's up. So look forward to that. So, but again, thank you everyone for the support. We got an awesome show today. Okay. I kind of like these kind of shows. I may be doing them more often depending on the engagement and what people think, but just kind of a UFO news show here, kind of wrap up, different things that are going on, right? Just go over a multitude of stories here. And I do have a special guest later in the live stream here, one of our moderators, Chris James, who's going to be coming up on the screen to tell his own personal experience, right, with the phenomena. So look forward to that. That'll be coming up in a little bit. Let's go over some of the stories we're going to get into, and then we'll just get into them. So basically, we are going to be covering the New Paradigm Institute's Global Disclosure Day that's coming up October 20th, 2024. Stay tuned for that. We're also going to be looking at an NPR article, and the title is, "Are UFOs real? ? Historical markers say yes." Stay tuned for that. And I've got an update from Nancy Mace in the UAP hearing. I'm going to be hearing directly from her, thanks to Askapol. So more on that here in a little bit, as well as I've got this interesting article from Japan talking about their involvement with UFOs. You're going to want to hear about that. That's very exciting. And you've seen the title and the thumbnail, so you're probably like, Patrick, what's up with this James Webb? What's going on? Give me the deets. All right. Well, we're going to go over something, we're going to go over that. And I've got a cool clip from the Night Shift podcast with Clint that we're going to go over, because there's also not only just this object, right, potential, this massive non-human object, but there was also this coming event, right, in 2027. You hear a lot of dates in this community. So let's cover, some of the myths, some of the legends, some of these stories. Is it real? What do we all need to build a bunker, y'all? What's going on? Let's go through that. Again, we're just here to discuss, right? And I've got a couple videos, UFO videos, that I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay. That have been shared in our Discord, because in our Discord server, I started something that allows people to come in and post your own UFO videos that you have personally filmed, right? So we've got two channels, one for UFO videos that you filmed. You can post them in there, and I may show them on the show. And today I'm going to show two of them, right? As well as there's a channel for just UFO videos, right? You can post links for just the most famous UFO videos or stuff you find. It's good, kind of just endless scrolling, right? I wanted the channel to just be open and you could just scroll and look at UFO videos, right? Ones that, again, vetters have actually filmed themselves, and then another channel just for, other videos, right? That you may have never heard of or whatever. So it's really exciting. And if you have a UFO video, don't send it to me, private message or anything like that. Go to the Discord and post it in there. That's the best way to get me to see it, right? As well as the Discord has video ideas, right? A channel for video ideas. So if you think there's something you want to see me cover on this channel, go post it there, because I mean this as respectfully as possible, but just don't send me any more messages about that kind of stuff, because it's just becoming too overwhelming and I can't keep track and it's all over the place. Whereas this channel in Discord brings it all to one place and it's really easy for me to look at, right? As well as anyone else saying, oh, right, so the ideas don't get doubled, right? That sort of thing. So, but I prefer messages, just like personal messages, right? If you want to send me messages, send me some, personal, some about you. You want to ask me a question about me? I love those. And I want to be able to respond to those more than anything. So I appreciate all the love and support and people wanting to share everything with me. I can't tell you how much it means to me, which is why I'm creating systems in place to sort of, bring it all in, right? Like a rain catcher, right? Dream catcher too, right? Those buckets that they set up for the rain that comes down, right? And that's it, right? I don't want it to get lost in the mix of messages and emails, and you feel like I'm not responding to you. So please go to the Discord. It's really easy. Everything's labeled on the left side. You can see all the channels. Please, it says video ideas, right? Better video ideas. You can put them in there and I will see it. So thank you guys so much. And thank you to everyone who rocks that Discord, man. It's just growing so fast and the engagement is amazing in there. The conversations I see happening, I read a lot of it. I may not get involved, but I read a lot of it. So it's really great to see everybody in there. All right. Let's do this. Yeah, let's jump into this. Oh, one last announcement. Sorry. Twitter Space. I'm holding my first Twitter Space this Sunday evening. So if you want to find that, go to our Twitter page and you'll see that. I'm hosting a Twitter Space, and my guest is Ashton Forbes. And we'll see how that goes. There's already been a lot of controversy for that, not trying to do that. I'm only going to do that Twitter Space, and then I'm done. I had an experiment this month, all of September, that nobody knew about, and I'm revealing it now. But I've spent all of September engaging on Twitter in ways I never have before, getting involved. But after September, I'm definitely pulling all that back. I wanted to see what it was like. Maybe I was making a mistake by not getting on Twitter, right? And engaging more. But now I realize that was a mistake. It's a mistake. It's not good. It's not helpful or beneficial to me in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it's brought nothing but headache and heartache. So that will stop. But I'm going to finish out the rest of September because I made a promise to myself to do that. So ending with this Twitter Space, that will be, I'm still going to post everything on Twitter, but you'll see my engagement go to nil. All right, let's jump into this first story. Let's just start with the big one, because I think that's what you guys want to know about, and I get it. Now, this is going to be courteous of Night Shift Podcast. All right, so I want to make that very clear. Shout out to Clint at Night Shift for this beautiful little compilation that he put at the beginning of this video. I'm going to put a link in the description after the live stream. Please go check it out. You can see it right here, Night Shift. Get subscribed, go join. And let's watch this video, and then we'll go from there, right? This little clip here. It's got several clips together. I do want to say real quick, next week, I'm trying to get everyone together. I'll be reaching out to everyone, Clint, Pavel, Simon, to try to get everyone again on a live stream for next week so we can, round two, right? Round two for the last video that we did and address all of this head on. All right, let's just watch the video and then go from there.
There's going to be a big event. Something enormous is going to happen. And these people have been abducted, and there's probably over 100,000 of them have been given some place to go and something to do. But under our best hypnotic techniques, we cannot find out what it is.
So how do we know that that's true?
Because they said they're going to do something. They know that they're going to do something, but under the hypnosis, they can't find out exactly what it is.
We're kind of preparing the U.S. population, at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before, previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, or maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared. And if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
Definitely. It better happen before that. I don't think we're going to be in any shape in a decade to be doing very much of anything. So I'm not hopeful for the future direction that we're moving in.
And the future direction, climate-wise, AI-wise?
Climate-wise and geopolitical-wise. That's the thing I think is going to kind of come. I think things are going to be pretty difficult starting in a few years. And from what I've been told by sources.
What does that mean? It's going to be difficult?
I can't say specifically. I don't know that much yet, and I can't really say, but just that a lot of what we take for granted now in life, I don't think is going to be, we're not going to have it. A lot of things we have now that makes our lives as wonderful as they are.
Like electricity?
How do celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate hundreds of millions of dollars? It's actually not what you think. They make a special kind of money known as royalties.
I don't know. Just the access to all the things we have access to now that are dependent on the globalization, basically.
The challenge is an effort to involve an acquisition of information from the other side that proves or disproves what information Bix already has from multiple kinds of sources as to the disposition of the human race in time coming. It's a pessimistic view that we have relative to the data that are telling us what we see. I'm hoping we're wrong.
If I understand what you're saying, it's basically like the data that is coming into you from multiple sources leads you to have a pessimistic outlook on the future of humanity.
Yeah.
And you're looking for some way that we might be able to change that apparent destiny.
I don't think that's an achievable goal for me. I think I'm an explorer, a researcher, and I think that problem is gigantic. It's huge.
Because it's coming at us from many angles.
Yeah, it's probably already written on the wind one way or another, and it's going to happen. And there's little or nothing we can do about it. Part of that is a function of nobody's going to listen anyway. and so who are we talking to, right? So we'll know, maybe we'll have more information than the average person on the street is going to have, right? And maybe that will give us some ability to have some comfort in our thought process of thinking about not just our container has a clock ticking, but from normal biological disintegration or whatever, or an accident or something coming along, but from a standpoint that things are really going to be bad. And how do you prepare yourself for that, and those that you love and care for, or friends? How do you prepare for any of that?
Get rumors of events regarding UAP that may occur within, like 10 years or so. I don't know if it's something coming or a natural disaster. You hear of something big coming down the pike. Have you heard of these claims? And if so, do you have any idea what it may be?
Yes, I've heard of them. Yes, I'm aware of them, and I'm not able to have that conversation.
Got it.
It's not my conversation to have, but I am aware of it.
Let's go, y'all. Shout out right there. Night Shift. Okay. There it is. Night Shift. Please go support Clint for putting that beautiful montage together. Right. Shout out to Robert Schmigelo there. Yeah. What to think of all this, y'all, right? When you see that, you go, what do I think? Is something coming? Are we screwed? Right? It's 2027, the year, right? Do people in power have more information than we have? Right? Well, the first question, we don't know. The second question, of course, yes, people in power have more information than we have, right? But what does that mean? The fry guy at McDonald's has more information than you about the fries and how it's done, right? Like, everyone to some extent has some information that other people aren't working off of, right? We're all don't have the same information. The real better question is, do we deserve to know that kind of information, right? That our lives are in danger kind of information, right? And then you break it down further than that. Well, we clearly can't be alerted of every threat to us, right? As a society, we wouldn't be able to function. That's why our government is placed and other institutions in place in our government that handle those threats on a day-to-day basis. You don't hear about all the threats to, let's say, for example, America. You don't hear about all of that. You don't hear about all the cases that these government agencies go out and stop attacks across America, right? We clearly can't find out about all that, right? We have 911 operators, right, that handle these emergency calls, right? They're not going to us. We don't hear every threat, every call, everything that's happening in our cities, in our towns, even on your own street, right? But again, an event so powerful that would be a cataclysm that would just like destroy humanity or parts of it or whatever, that to me seems like another level, right? And I understand how people in power would want to have a discussion about that. Would it create mass panic to just say, this is happening, this is what you need to do? I don't know, right? It's a philosophical question for humanity. It would be very decisive. I think first gut reaction is say, yeah, I want to know. But maybe if you stop to think about what are some of the implications, you might think differently. You might not, right? I think at the end of the day, it comes down to a vote, right? It would just be a vote. Majority wins, right? But what I'm not a fan of is people going on podcasts and saying, I know this information. I can't tell you, but yes, there is something happening and coming and whatever, and it's going to be dangerous and this, and you should be worried and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why say that? Don't say anything, in my opinion, at that point, right? And if you're going to say something, because I just don't see the point of injecting that fear. Now, if you're saying, I don't know if this is true, we're talking about like we did on our show, I'm clearly a fan of that because I think open discussions should be had. But, and I'm guilty of it myself. I've said on the podcast, blah, 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 I can't talk about that. But it's usually about a guest I'm having, and then you find out a little bit later, right? Like, it's not like I'm not holding the secrets of the universe back from you. Right. Because again, I don't have anonymous sources. I don't create stories on this podcast. Other people come on the podcast and tell their stories. And from there, the story you could say is created, but not me personally, And I worry about that. I worry about these impending events, these impending things. And I am going to be more careful of how I present that information moving forward on this show. I do feel a responsibility to some extent about injecting fear or threats into the community, right? I do feel some sort of a responsibility. And it's a balance because at the same time, I think open discussion is key to anything, right? So it's a balance, right? At the end of the day, but there is no hard evidence that a massive non-human object is headed this way. And there is no hard evidence that this object has course corrected, made movements, right? I know that's what is being said, but no hard evidence has been presented publicly, right? Which therefore, I can't really take in that information. I can't take that seriously until some hard evidence is put forward. I'm willing to consider it and think about it and talk about it. But as far as jumping to the conclusion of, well, it's coming, this is happening, right? This is coming our way and we should be worried. I'm not there. There are other public, confirmations of what the James Webb Telescope has discovered. And I'm very much interested in those, as well as other entities, right? With their dishes that they're out, signals in space and whatever, right? Like, okay, yeah. And again, I'm happy to talk about these predictions and these things that come up, but I definitely say take it with a grain of salt, sure. Because I don't want people worried in any way, right? And I think anyone who's just coming out and saying, we need to be worried about some impending event that's coming from NHI or something, because there are a lot of stories out there of NHI that are coming back to Earth to recover the stuff they lost, right? Get their bodies back, get their craft back, get their technology back. But zero evidence behind that. Zero. I have seen nothing. Not behind the scenes, not in front of the scenes, not on side of the scenes, not inside the scenes, nothing. I've seen nothing. Right. So just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, is it interesting to discuss? 100%, which is what we're doing on here. Right. So look, link in the description. Please go check out Night Shift's podcast and his discussions on it. And he dives a lot further. And I respect everyone's opinion on the matter and what they do, right? And how they cover it and what they say. All power to them. This is how I'm doing it on here, right? But you hear too many dates, too many predictions, and too many dates and prophesizing, and I'm just not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of that personally. But again, to each their own. To each their own. And I guess at the end of the day, we'll find out as these dates pass and nothing happens. Then what? Right? Remember Y2K 2000? Nothing happened. Remember 2012? Nothing happened. Right? So my prediction is 2027, nothing will happen. I have zero evidence for that. Right? And sometimes prophesizing, people make it so broad that when, they can then point later to the future when something happens and go, see, I said this back in that, but it's so broad what they say, right? Anytime someone's just like, there will be conflict, there will be that, right? These broad terms, right? It's like, there will be conflict in the Middle East. Yeah, there's been conflict for thousands of years there. That's not a hard prediction to make. Wars will come about. Yeah, there's always going to be wars, right? Like expansion. Yeah, we're always expanding, right? It's like, I want date, time, specific details for these prophets, in my opinion. So whatever. That is what it is. Go check out all the links. I look forward to having a discussion next week to cover it more, hopefully with Simon, Pavel, and Clint. However I can pull that together, because I respect all of their opinions on what they have to say about it, and they all look at it differently, and I like that, and I like learning from that. So I look forward to that discussion. And again, Pavel Ibarra from Psychoactivo podcast, please go check out his show as well. He's the one that's been covering this. I think he's handled it very well, in my opinion, to be honest with you. I know he's getting a lot of pushback. I know he's getting misquoted. And I know I've already mentioned this on the podcast, but just to reiterate that, right? He's staying up to date with it. He's got his source that he's dealing with, and more power to him. I hope he figures it out and keeps going with it and tells the story, and I'll be here for it. All right, let's move on to the next story. A little coffee. My apologies. What are you drinking, guys? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot our tradition on the show here, y'all, which is, let's do it real quick. Just a minute here, right? I'm in Texas. Tell me in the chat where you're watching this from so I can shout it out. My apologies. I totally forgot. So let me know. I'm in Texas, please. Yorkshire. Thank you. Yes, they are. Halifax, West Wales, Boulder, Colorado, New Mexico, y'all. Wales again. South New Jersey, Ontario, Canada, Alabama, Hawaii, Devon, UK, Romania, Nueva Jersey, Seattle, baby, Boston, Staten Island, Sask, Canada, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Wisconsin, Pacific Northwest, Philly, baby, Hurricane, North Carolina, Malta, Portugal, South Carolina, Wisconsin, Quebec City, Serbia, Pittsburgh, y'all, NYC, Tokyo, Cleveland, Ohio. Look at that. Scotland, Ireland, Portugal, New York, Texas, Nevada. Love it. Look at that. Queensland, Australia. They're up late. My apologies. So, yeah, very cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There you get to see the global audience that we have. All right, let's move on to the next story. Pull this down. Boom. This is going to be Nancy Mace, okay, with Ask a Poll. Again, if you're not familiar with Ask a Poll, this is Matt Laszlo, who is the reporter, okay? Please go subscribe to Ask a Poll. I have a yearly membership. You can go get it. It's very affordable, and it's well worth it. Please go support Matt and Ask a Poll. He's literally in the halls of Congress asking politicians straight up these UFO questions, and he's getting us all the information on hearings. I mean, honestly, what he provides is invaluable to the community, to be honest with you. So shout out to Matt and all the hard work that he puts into this, bringing all this information to us. So look, let's listen to Nancy Mace, who again is going to be chairing the fall UAP hearing that is on November 13th, where Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet is going to be testifying. That has been confirmed. At least that's what he said. Clearly things could change, but let's hear what she has to say about this.
Welcome to the Ask a Poll UAP podcast. I'm your host, Matt Time.
A little bit up here.
And now,
I covered Congress.
What would you have fun doing it?
Oh, I do. 18 years, having a blast. Would you get any clue of who the witnesses might be?
Oh, I know we're working through a list right now. We won't put that out for a little bit of time, but I had us push back. Yeah, I had us push back the hearing because I wanted a particular witness who's a veteran.
Push back to November 13th.
Yeah. So we get it.
You're still waiting.
Sheena Mead, I'm the CEO of the Clean City Initiative. Thank you for championing our.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hang on, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that stuff for a long time. And no one understands me. Like, how do you not understand me?
Dude, I would. Yeah.
Even my bill last week that never cuts out. I mean, that's what it gets rid of my legal act. 51 voted for it. So. It was the most violent was my first going up, quite frankly. So anyway, so I pushed the hearing back because I wanted to get this guy, I wanted to get this individual in and make the dates for him.
So Luna's been telling me the past couple months that she wanted it focused on USOs. Is that you're kind of in control now?
I mean, yeah. So on background, everyone gets to have it. So I've met with Burchett. I met with
It's really hard to hear. All right. So what they're saying at the beginning there, Nancy is saying that she pushed back the hearing to accommodate this one person that she wanted to testify. Right? I don't know if you heard that. So all right, let's continue. Don't worry. We'll go over it all.
To get them input, and if they wanted this guy, I think it's an admiral that does USO stuff. I'm more than happy, but the witnesses will be different.
Yeah.
And they'll bring different information to the table.
So the one that you're trying to get is different from the one that they want to bring.
It's actually a guy that will talk about USOs because we haven't talked about USOs.
Yeah.
But also I want to have a military vet.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have more than just academics.
Yeah.
I need people who's maybe seen some shit.
Yeah.
And can tell us stuff. So like I don't want to do just I want people who've actually seen and heard and read.
Yeah.
Like it's just important. So I moved the dates back.
Yeah.
All right, one more, real quick. So basically, right there, right, it's this right here. She's saying, I wanted to have a military vet. I think it's important to have more than just academics. I need people who've maybe seen some shit and can tell us some stuff, right? I want people who've actually seen and heard and read. Like it's just important. So I moved the dates back, right? So she's talking about Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet there and positioning the date in such that he could make it, right? And not just having academics. And it also sounds like people were pushing her to have certain people testify, but she wanted her own people to come in, right? Which is interesting, right? So right here, you can see, right? I met with Representative Tim Burchett and with Luna to get them on why they wanted this guy. I think he's an admiral that does USOs stuff. More than happy to have him testify, but the witnesses will be different and they'll bring different information to the table. And right here, right, you can see it's actually a guy that will talk about USOs because we haven't talked about USOs, right? So Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet. So it sounds like this hearing will be focused around USOs, underwater submerged objects, right? All right, let's listen to the last bit of this here.
And we're working through who the other witnesses are going to be. We don't have
So yeah, you guys are still working through it, so we don't have a direction of the hearing yet.
Writing, but I really want to
grab bag.
I want to really want to get someone who was formally in uniform.
Yeah, rightfully so.
It's important that the issue is taken seriously.
It was interesting. Senator Kelly, total skeptic on the issue, but he's like, I also listen to the pilots.
Yeah.
Right.
This is just the start, right?
I'll be watching. Yes, ma'am.
So there you go. He's saying, she's saying this is just a start. We haven't exactly laid out all the witnesses, the direction of the hearing, but, it sounds like they're trying to focus it around USOs and Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet. And again, moving the date to accommodate that in particular, which I'm sure he wants to prepare, right, for that, which I totally understand and respect from Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet and from Nancy Mace, right? You don't want to just rush into a hearing. Just what, I get it. Let's do it right. And she wants ex-military, right? She wants people who are formerly in uniforms. And I get that. People have served our country coming to talk about. Again, we asked them to serve our country and protect our country. Let's let them testify and tell us some stuff. Like, it absolutely makes sense, right? We put our faith in them to protect our country, but we don't want to put our faith in them to come tell us, right, some details about stuff. So I'm with it, and I'm with what Nancy Mace wants to do here. So there you go. Some updates on the UAP hearing. Again, that is scheduled for November 13th. That could change. That is literally days after the election. So anything could happen, right? Depending on how the American election goes. All right, let's move on here to another story. Actually, I'm going to play a couple UFO videos. Again, these are videos that people have posted in our Discord, right? With the agreement that we might play it on the show, right? And if you have your own UFO video that you've shot yourself, okay, that's the key here. You've shot the video yourself. You can post it in our Discord and let people take a look at it, because a lot of people send me videos that they've shot, or so absolutely happy to look, right? Absolutely. Let's look at these videos, and everyone can make up their own mind. So again, link in the description to Discord. You can join. It's free to join, and share your stuff, have conversations. It's great. You'll find a lot of like-minded people in there. All right, let's get to the first video. Now, this first video is very interesting, and I'll tell you afterwards why.
There you go. Another shot coming back from Maricopa. Those are definitely not planes. I'm taking a short video. I'm going to pull over up here at the curb. I take some more video. I'm trying to show y'all. Y'all don't believe me. There you go. Another shot coming back from Maricopa. Those are definitely not planes. I'm taking a short video. I'm going to pull over up here at the curb. I take some more video. I'm trying to show y'all. Y'all don't believe me.
All right, so he says in Maricopa, so Maricopa County. Now, what makes this video interesting is that yesterday I interviewed a gentleman named Patrick Jackson. You may or may not have heard of him. If you haven't, stay tuned, because this weekend I'm going to drop my interview with him. And he tells a fascinating tale, and he has a fascinating theory about what these orbs are that are flying around, right? He describes them as spheres, and he's got this whole theory based around these, different spheres. Now, he actually showed me this video. He sent it to me before the interview, and we go over this same video in our interview, right? And what he has to say about this video is quite fascinating, right? So stay tuned for that, because we cover this video again. Now, what do you see when you see this video? Right? All right, let's go to the next one. Again, I'm not here to make the decision for you, right? You look at the video, make your own choice, make your own decision about it. All right, next video. Just playing it twice so you can get a better look at it. The person that sent this in said they were in Bali, pardon me. That's where they live. The sound you hear is the AC unit, the AC unit, not this thing up in the sky. Again, make your own decision there, what you think. Not really much to go off of. But, I mean, I personally think this is a drone myself. It looks identical to a drone. But, who knows? I don't know. The other one is a little more interesting, right, with the different lights. But, not for me to decide. The point is, if you've got videos like this, or things you've shot that you think are interesting, send them in. We'll take a look and maybe we'll show them on the show. But again, make your own decision on this. It's completely up to you. All right, guys, let's go to our next story here. This is about the New Paradigm Institute. All right, and they have a very exciting event happening. Let me bring it up here. And it's called Global Disclosure Day. Okay, it's going to be happening on October 20th, 2024. They just announced this. Let me read some of it. It says, we are thrilled to announce the inaugural Global Disclosure Day on October 20th, 2024. This landmark event will bring together our Citizens for Disclosure chapters across 43 states and around the globe, hosting watch parties for a special 2-hour live stream event. It's got a join link there. Confirmed speakers: Ross Coulthart, premier investigative journalist on UAPs and author of In Plain Sight. You've got Luis Elizondo, former director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program and author of Imminent. You got Daniel Sheehan, president and general counsel, New Paradigm Institute. You've got Rich Hoffman, who's the enterprise architect at Redstone Arsenal and the Marshall Space Flight Center, executive board member of Explore SCU, and previous state director of MUFON, Alabama. We've also got Dr. Bea Villarroel, hope I'm saying that right, astronomer at Nordic Institute for Theoretical Physics, Nordita, leading the Vasco and ExoProbe projects. And then we've got Steve Bassett, founder of Paradigm Research Group and co-founder of the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. Don't miss this groundbreaking event on UAP transparency and global disclosure. I'm going to play this video they've got down here in just a second. All great people, right? We've had Steve Bassett on a couple times. We've had Daniel Sheehan on a couple times. All wonderful interviews. I absolutely enjoyed talking to both of those gentlemen. All right, let's watch this awesome video that they came up with, y'all. I bet I know who edited this because they got some good editors. They really put out some good content. All right, here we go. Make sure I got this right. All right.
We are thrilled to announce the first ever Global Disclosure Day on October 20th, a historic event that brings together Citizens for Disclosure groups from 43 states and around the world for a unified call for transparency. Watch parties will convene for a 2-hour live stream event, featuring powerful voices in the disclosure movement, including notable speakers and local activists sharing personal stories and groundbreaking updates on the UAP front. This is more than just a date to circle on your calendar. It's a day to rally behind, a global movement for truth and transparency. Visit newparadigminstitute.org. Join us in making disclosure a worldwide movement. We are thrilled to announce the first ever Global Disclosure Day on October 20th, a historic event that brings together.
Very awesome. There you go. Global Disclosure Date, Citizens for Disclosure. We'll keep you updated on that. If you're interested in going and seeing that, I think there's some members, I know for a fact there are some members in our Discord who are going to be putting together like a watch party and a stream party and all this to watch this. They're really excited. about this. And it's going to be cool. Can't wait. I'm very excited. So again, after the stream, I'll put all the links to this in the description. Go check it out. All right. We got 15 more minutes till I bring on Chris James, our guest. He's going to be coming up and telling his own paranormal. Is that the right word? Paranormal? I think that is, because that just includes all the phenomena, right? I believe so. His own personal experience, and I'm really excited to hear from Chris. So stay tuned. We're almost there. Big shout out again to all the mods who are running the chat right now. Thank you guys so much. I know it's getting popping, so thank you guys so much. I assume it's going well. I actually haven't been looking at the chat, but we will get to the chat in the end after we hear from Chris. So stay with us, and please get ready to put your questions in later. All right, let's get to this next story here. Let me bring it up. I'm sure y'all could see this. Bam, right here. The Asahi Shimbun, if I'm saying that right, and says, in the name of security, Diet Group plan to study UFOs. Now, this may be like translated in such a way, so some things may be off, but it's written by Yuta Ogi. Hope I'm saying that right as well. And it says, former Environment Minister Shinjiro Kozumi speaks at a meeting of the planned nonpartisan parliamentary group to study UFOs. Ruling and opposition lawmakers looked to the heavens and finally found something they could agree upon: the need to prepare Japan for unidentified flying objects. Yo, right? This is sick. The politicians, including former cabinet members, held a meeting in the Diet on May 28th to address the UFO issue in terms of national security. They plan to establish an official parliamentary group as early as June. So far, they have agreed that the nonpartisan group's name will include unidentified anomalous phenomena, a term used by agencies in the United States. When was this put out? This was put out in May, y'all. All right. So it's a little old, but well worth it. So the U.S. Department of Defense and NASA both have specialized teams for UAP research, according to the group's prospectus. Former Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada, chief of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party's Diet Affairs Committee, is expected to chair the UAP parliamentary group. Hamada was absent from the May 28th meeting. So former Environment Minister Shinjiro Koizumi read out Hamada's message: leaving something unknown is a problem for national security. We'll discuss what we haven't discussed. Other former defense chiefs, such as Shigeru Ishiba and General Nakatani of the LPD, will join the nonpartisan group. Former Foreign Minister Seiji Mahara, a veteran opposition lawyer, will also be a member of the group. So this is, I wanted to point this out because other countries are taking this seriously, y'all. Very seriously, right? Because as they said in that article, something, the key point to that article, in my opinion, the quote that really stands out is the idea. Let me bring it up again. Is this quote right here? Leaving something unknown is a problem for national security, right? So again, it has been readily admitted by many governments, including our own, former presidents, all kinds of people covered on the channel, that there are things flying around we don't know what they are. That is agreed upon. What's not agreed upon is what it is. What are these things flying around? Right? And again, you have other countries like Japan, one of many, who are taking this seriously and want to look in to what this phenomena is. And I applaud them. And I look forward to what comes of it, to be honest with you. Very much so. All right, let's get to this other story that I've got. Which you might be saying, oh, this is going to be a nothing burger. It's not. Right here, NPR putting out an article. Again, I like when the UFO topic gets put into what you might call mainstream news or news organizations that don't tip, they cover everything, right? They're just news organizations, not UFO news, right? So this particular article that was just released today, in fact, right? Are UFOs real? Right? Historical markers say yes, right? Pascagoula, Mississippi is known for building Navy ships, but city officials say it's actually famous for two other things. And let's show this picture here real quick. It says I'm probably saying that right. Pascagoula Mayor Jay Willis stands next to a historical marker that claims aliens came from outer space and abducted two local men in 1973. Right. So again, let's go back. It says Pascagoula, Mississippi is known for building Navy ships, but city officials say it's actually famous for two other things. First, it's the birthplace. Do I have this up? Yeah. It's the birthplace of Jimmy Buffett. Margaritaville. Right. The city put up a historical marker outside his childhood home. If you like pina coladas and getting lost in the rain. That's my Jimmy Buffett impression. And that's probably not even the right lyrics. But here we go. And then there's the second thing, space aliens. The city put up a marker for them too. All right, we're known for two things, y'all. Jimmy Buffett and aliens. That should be the entrance to the town. The sign, welcome to Pascagoula, or however you say it. Home of Jimmy Buffett and aliens. I love it. But this story is fascinating, right? It was the evening of October 11th, 1973, when two local shipyard workers went fishing, the marker says, at the edge of the Pascagoula River. The sign says Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker spotted a football-shaped craft which took them aboard. Inside the craft, Hickson was examined by a robotic eye. Then both men were deposited back on the riverbank and the spaceship shot away, the marker says. Stamped at the bottom is a seal, the city of Pascagoula and the Jackson County Historical and Genealogical Society. Mayor Jay Willis says when it came to writing this marker, authorities saw no reason to hedge because these two guys had the same story of what happened, how it happened for the rest of their lives, Willis explains. This marker is going to be there for a long, long time. It's a lasting tribute to what occurred right here in Pascagoula. There's no way to really know what happened that night in 1973 when the men waded headfirst into one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Are we alone? But the marker is now one of at least 15 that say without hesitation that aliens have come to visit Earth. They join more than 180,000 other historical markers dotting the country's landscape, and NPR found they wouldn't be the first to claim that something may or may not be true. There's a marker in Massachusetts that claims the town was once home to a real live wizard. New York has a marker about a ghost that plays a fiddle on a bridge in the moonlight, right? Very interesting. Here's some other markers, right? Look at this. Captain Thomas Mantrell Jr., January 7th, 1948. While on training flight, Mantell was directed by Flight Tower at Godman Field to pursue an unidentified flying object. While in pursuit of object, died in plane crash near this site. The story of Mantell's death while chasing UFO made headlines across the country. Intense military investigation of incident became part of Project Sign, later Blue Book, the military's investigations into UFOs. Holy crap. What? Right? I don't think I heard that story before. Maybe I don't recall that, right? A pilot died chasing a UFO. That's absolutely tragic. Let's go to this other one. confirmed UFO sighting on January 5th. And that's from Simpson County, Kentucky, the Mantell one. This one is from St. Clair County, Illinois, right? And it states, on January 5th, 2000 at 4:23 a.m., Shiloh police officer David Martin reported a floating object with 3 bright lights in the sky above Shiloh. Other witnesses said the UFO floated slowly and had no engine noise. Lebanon, Shiloh, Milstadt, and Dupo police officers all reported witnessing this UFO that morning. What? This is awesome, right? I love it. Look, there's more to the article. I'll put a link in the description. Please go check it out. There's way more to that. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I swear to God, it's just like some days, man, you can be hard up on this topic, be very skeptical, just be very kind of cynical about where we are with the phenomenon, disclosure, and what's real and what's not, and what's the truth and what's not the truth, and who's lying to me and who's telling the truth, right? And who's not lying, and is this a hoax? Is this real? What's this? What's that? There's so many different pieces to this ginormous puzzle, and every puzzle piece is this effing small, right? And you're in the dark, so you can't even see the puzzle pieces. Good luck, right? That's how I feel. But then you read these kind of stories, right? And you hear the stuff in Japan, and you hear this, and you hear that, and you hear, again, this phenomena. There's so many untold stories. I got to keep reminding myself that there's just so many untold stories. There's so many stories of people who have had these absolute insane encounters, right? Are they all lying? I don't think so. It's just too much. They can't all be lying. Right? Now, I'm not saying that therefore their encounters are extraterrestrial, but a lot of these encounters happen. How do we explain them? There's just too much unexplained. And we absolutely should be looking into this. We absolutely should be investigating this. We absolutely should be asking questions and wanting to find out the truth. We shouldn't be saying, yeah, aliens are on this planet. Let me look for all the information that gets me that answer. Right? We should not set the destination before we head on this journey. But then you say, well, Patrick, but then we're driving down the road with no destination. What do I put in GPS? I get it. But if we set the answer, then you may ignore evidence and stories and whatever, right? Evidence that doesn't support your answer. But again, you do you. It's all up to you. That's my journey. Your journey is yours to take. What an awesome thing. All right, guys, look, let's this has been awesome. I've really enjoyed this live stream, by the way. And this coffee I made. All right, I'm going to bring up a special guest right now. His name is Chris James. He's a moderator for Vetted here, most recently acquired. So I was trying to say he was like a free agent. We picked him up. You know what I mean? Made some trades. We got him in. Awesome dude. You'll hear him sometimes in our open mic discussions. You'll see him in the chat. Great guy. And he has his own story. All right. And Chris has been kind enough to come on the show and tell his story. So without further ado, let me bring up this gentleman. He goes by Chris James. Chris, thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Well, I should say good afternoon, because it's still daytime for you over there.
That is true. The sun is out. It is the afternoon. Chris, where are you streaming from?
West Wales, place called Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth.
Yeah, I heard you tried to say that on the show the other night, and you just totally minced it, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. that
still
checks.
struggle. I still struggle with a lot of the Welsh names. So
Sure. Yeah, it's Welsh,
it's easy
dude. I
to go.
mean, come on now. Yeah, that's if you're struggling, imagine me. I don't know what's going on.
I've been here
You know?
20 years, like, and I still struggle. So I still struggle with English. So
Yeah. Me too, man. Did you hear me? Did you hear me reading that Japanese article? I tried my best, and I worked with a lot of Japanese people. I have Japanese friends. I still struggle with some of those names, and I speak 2 languages. It's not hard. Or
you did
pardon
well.
me, it's not easy.
You did
It's not
well.
easy.
You
No,
did
I
well.
appreciate that. Well, look, Chris.
I can't pronounce names. I'm hopeless.
Yeah, it's a look. It's a hard thing. I think you have to give people room for error on names, period. But look, man. Just thank you for coming on and wanting to share your story. So I'm really just going to toss it to you, man. Here, let us know a little bit, kind of, what happened, and dates. I don't know. I kind of just let you take it from here.
Well, it all kicked off for me. I've been interested in the UFO phenomena for since I was about 14. That's when I could get into it. But I've always been interested ever since having my encounter when I was 5. About November, because I remember it getting dark late. Getting dark early. So, by the time I got to bed, it was dark. We lived in an old, really old Victorian house. We lived on the upper floors and people lived on the down floors. We was next door to my mum and dad's bedroom. And it was me and my brother. My brother slept on top bunk. I slept on the bottom bunk. And this is 1975. So I was 5 years old. I woke up in a sitting up position with the covers pulled down to my feet. And I'm face to face with, I couldn't make out anything at the first, but a dark object standing right by the side of my bed. I only had the light from the hallway coming through, shining up all the one wall of the bedroom and this figure. So I could see all the way down the side, make out an eye, cheekbone, bit of a jaw, shoulder. I screamed because, yeah, I mean, you just don't expect to see something like that by the side of your bed. So I've screamed, and as I've screamed, this thing's dropped, gone under the bed, and I've followed it, watched as it gone under the bed, and then just watched it disappear into the wall. At that time, the bedroom light goes on, mum and dad standing there, and I am hysterical. I'm screaming, it's gone into the wood, it's gone into the wood. Now, I called it wood because it's skirting board, but I didn't know what skirting board was. I just said, it's gone into the wood, it's gone into the wood. My dad says, oh, he's had a nightmare, he's had a bad dream. My mum came and comforted me and calmed me down on that. And I kept saying, it's gone into the wall, it's gone into the wall, it's gone into the wood. So my dad pulled the bed out and was knocking on the wall to prove that it was solid wall. I've been asked, oh, well, you must have had a bad dream or you must have visualized it or something. The thing that gets me is back in 1975, we didn't have TV. We didn't have comics. I didn't have toys like what you get today. I didn't have the plastic UFOs or little plush aliens or anything. So I had no concept of having a bad dream of something that I've never seen before. So that scratched that out for me straight away when I explained it to people. I've never seen this thing before, but it's standing right by the side of my bed. I'd gone into boarding schools as I was getting older, and I didn't know that my dad and my brother used to sit up at night talking about this. And it was my dad that said that I'd saw an alien. He was the one that said, Chris saw an alien in his bedroom. Like, it's the only thing we can think of. My dad, he used to believe. My mum was skeptical, had an answer for everything. But my dad, he believed. And I would loved to have the conversation with him about it and what his thoughts were, but I never got around to it. Now, I kept this to myself for years. Family members, close family members believed, others I didn't tell, or if I did tell, I got ridiculed. So I kept quiet. I then joined a group run by Nath Lockley, and it's called Uprising. And it's I was monitor on there for a while. And I just dropped little hints in the conversations that people had, like messages and that about my encounter. Nothing much, you know. And then Dave Hodgren from the Birmingham UFO group reached out to me and said, I think you should tell your story. So we had a one-to-one on video, explained it. He covered my case and a few bits of other sightings that I've had. And it took a massive weight off my shoulders because I'd kept this so quiet for all them years. And it's like, who do you tell? You can't just come out with these stories back even 5 years ago, because people would have just called you crazy, off your head, you know, whatever. But I've always been into this subject and I've always wanted answers. Now, I want to go for deep regression hypnosis because it's the only way I can find that I'm going to get answers. I want to know if I was abducted and brought back and I was placed into the bed, or I was about to be abducted and the covers was brought down. And either way, I'd woke up, startled it scarpered, and you know, whatever. I just need answers, and I've always wanted to have answers. But ever since then, I've had multiple sightings of lights in the sky, reported them to the Ministry of Defence, took photographs of a strange object going down my street that still to this day, me and Ren are still trying to figure out what it is that was seen. I didn't see it with my.
You got a picture of that with
no,
with you?
I did send pictures, but I have shared them before on the Discord on Vetted.
Yeah.
People they've analysed the photographs. They can't work it out. This thing was moving. It was going fast. It took a series of. I wanted to take a video. I wanted to have it as a background image on my YouTube and then start putting videos up and that, because I've never done anything on YouTube. I've got one video up, that's it. So I was going to start piling all my stuff that I've collected over the years and encounters and cases that I've worked on and start piling them up on there. So I thought I had my phone set to take photographs. To take a video. Place the phone against the glass so it wouldn't move. Push the button on the side, expecting it to play the little melody to say that the video's running, and it didn't. It just took a series of photographs. So then I thought, oh, take it off, have a look, see what the light looks like, see what the tone, the shadows, and everything. Might just be able to use a photograph instead of the video. Had a look. First photograph, okay. Second photograph, slid across, noticed the light. Slid across to the second photograph, again, noticed the light, but it moved. And I was like, hold on a minute, what's this? So then skipped through all the photographs and noticed that this light is slowly moving up the street. It's casting a light on the ground. It's casting a light on the side of the van. You can see the reflection in the glass on a door opposite the street. The video I wanted, or the photographs that was taken, I wouldn't have pushed a button if there was anybody out on the street. This is 1:30 in the morning. All the students had gone home for the holidays. It was out of season, so there's no tourists. It was dead still. It was quiet. So that's why I wanted to take it and then have the video with loads of light flooding in, stick it on the back of my YouTube. Great background. It's the light that gets me, because we timed how many photographs it took, and it was under a second to take 7 photographs. So this light must have been moving really fast. I didn't see any light. There was no traffic outside, no bikes, no cars, nobody out there with a torch or anything. And this thing's moving really, really fast. There is one image where it looks like the light is on this side of a post that's out in the street, but it's actually on the other side of it. And because the brightness of the light, it's obscuring the post, so it looks like it's on this side of the post. But as it's going down the street, you can see it. We think it's a ball, like a sphere, but because it's moving that fast on the camera, it's caught it as elongated as it's moving really fast.
Well, look, when I jump into the Q&A here in a minute, like if you can look for the pictures and let's bring them up, right? We'll show them. You don't have to do it right now.
Do you want me to?
But,
I have sent you pictures in your DM.
I mean, yeah, but you know,
mate,
Chris, you know what I'm saying? Like, how am I gonna, you know what I mean? I got a bazillion things, so it'd be easier if you can find them if you want, right? There's no pressure. If not, we'll send people to Discord here in just a minute. Don't worry about it right now. Here in just a minute, you know, you can take the time when I do the Q&A. If you want, right? We'll show everyone a picture. I think it's fascinating. Well, yeah. How many sightings like total have you had?
There was I used to live up in a place called Grimsby, which is on the northeast coast of England, because I used to work on docks and things like that. So I get to talk to fishermen a lot. Been out on a boat once for 3 weeks, and I'll never do it again. It's hard work.
Sure.
And I don't like fish, so I had to work with fish, which is grim. Really grim.
No, I understand.
But yeah, there was a time when we saw a green light in the sea under the water, quite far out, about 150 meters out. This thing was, I'd say, probably about 30 feet in diameter, and it was a really green, luminous color. Didn't move. We was on a boat going out into the North Sea to pick up nets that we'd put out the day before. As we were going out and I saw the light, I'd gone up to skipper and said, "What's that out there?" And he said, "We see them quite often. We stay away from them because they scare the fish away, and we have to go out further to go and catch, to get the catch." Well, when I reported it, I reported my case to Paul Sinclair of Truth Proof. He runs a podcast. And I mentioned into about these green lights I'd seen under the sea, and I get an email back going, "Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough, whatever." So I didn't think he believed me, and then got a message back a couple of days later going, "Actually, can you tell me a bit more about those lights that you've seen under the sea?" Because he was getting reports. And I think now that he's actually got a video of these lights under the North Sea. Nobody knows what they are. Maybe it's a thing to do, it can be reported to the post that you've just put up about USOs and everything. A lot of stuff is seen around the British coast. I cover a lot of cases here in the UK. A lot of them are covered up by the MOD. The case that I've been working on for 15 years I just found out has got a 70-year Secrecy Act put on it. So they're covering something they don't want nobody to know about.
But how many sightings have you personally?
Oh, me personally.
Yeah.
I can see something in the sky, like a ball of light or something, most often, say literally 2-3 times a week.
So you're having sightings all the time. It's just innumerable. Too hard
Wales
to,
is a hotspot. One of the most biggest cases is South Wales. There are a lot of sightings are seen in down South Wales.
Are you like calling for these sightings, or they're just happening to you?
No, they're just happening.
They're just happening to you.
I don't knock CE5. I know people that have done it. I knock the people that charge for it because anybody can do it. I don't understand why people have to charge for people to do it. So
I'm skeptical as anybody, so I'll push back a little bit on that, and I'll just say this: look, we can all cook food too, but sometimes we go out to restaurants. So you know, I can understand someone offering an experience that coincides with the CE5 thing, right? We're gonna have lunch. I'm gonna drive you out to a special place. We'll all be together. XYZ. But I agree, if the charge of the money is access to the alien, that I agree is not good. But if the charge is just for the experience itself, I think to each their own. You pay it or you don't, but you can do it for free. But I don't know. Again, I'm as skeptical as anybody. But look, Chris, I got to jump into the Q&A. I want to just thank you, dude, for coming on, telling your story. You're always, in the open mics, talking about your stories. And I'm sure after this live stream, people are going to want to jump into the Discord after party to talk to you about this stuff. And, super exciting. So I'm sure you'll be open to that. If you want, again, only if you want, while I do this Q&A here to round out, look for those pictures. We'll bring them back up and look at them a little bit here before we go. If you have them, you'll be able to share your screen and bring it up. At the bottom, you'll see like a thing there to share, and you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to pop you down.
Okay.
Yeah, present, exactly. I'm going to pop you down to the bottom. I'll do this Q&A, and if you find the pictures, I'll bring you back up here, the last few minutes, and let's go over this stuff. I think it's fascinating. And again, man, thank you for opening up and being vulnerable and telling your story. Some people are a little afraid, and I think you coming on and talking can give people a little courage to share some of their stories. So we'll bring you right back in here in just a little bit, Chris. All right, guys, look, let's jump into some Q&A here. How great was that story from Chris? Thank you so much to him for coming on and doing that. And hopefully we'll take a look at these pictures, which I love looking at pictures and videos, y'all. This is from James Mangini. He says, Patrick, do you mind opening your blinds really quick to see out the window? Patrick, do you mind opening your blinds really quick to see out the window? You need to put it 3 times, James. No, I do not want to show you what's outside my window. Absolutely not. Michael Brown, shout out from the Villages in Florida. Hell yeah. Villages in Florida, y'all. Shout out Florida. The Villages, that just sounds like a cool little golf community, maybe by the beach. I don't know. Very cool. Thank you so much for the support, Michael. Daniel says, Patrick singing deserves some credit. Yeah. I'm not a good singer, but I've always sung. I'm not a good singer. That was just me joking around, but yes, thank you so much. I got all kinds of great songs, right? If you want to get disclosure, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's my Weezer song that turned into a disclosure song. Anyway, all right. Let's get to some questions, y'all. Put them in all caps for me, and I'll do my best here. I've got a hard out at 1:30, so we got 12 more minutes because I have an interview at 2:00 that I'm doing with a European podcast, and I'm super excited for that. So I'll give you all more details after I record that. I'm a guest on their show, so that's coming up at 2:00, and I need to do the Discord after party for a little bit. So we got 12 more minutes, y'all. All right. Oh my gosh. Hang on, I got to bring this up. Patrick is hiding Dick Cheney behind his blinders. That's right, y'all. Me and Dick Cheney, best buds. Y'all didn't know? This says, why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? I don't know, Joe. That's a good question. This guy, stop now. Stop singing now, Jay. Okay, Jay, calm down. Only if you stop writing in all caps. No, I'm just kidding. It says, because they're really good at it. Oh, that's a joke. We got an elephant joke, y'all. I love it. Easter Island statue says, what do you think of the 1992 Canada alien snow video? Never seen it. Never heard of it. Patrick, your favorite meal? Tacos al pastor. Specifically in Mexico City, I would say. Mexico City, specifically. David of Salem says, Patrick, are you an experiencer? I'm not a No, not in the not in the way you mean it. I've had no personal UAP experience or phenomena or anything. I've never seen anything extraterrestrial. I've never had an ET contact or anything. Steven says, "Are you sure you and Colin Farrell are not related?" I'm not sure. I've got a lot of Irish blood, right? English blood in me. Yeah, I've been. It's my eyebrows, y'all. My whole life, I've been compared to Colin Farrell because of my eyebrow, like this part. I think, right here. This is me. This is me. Whoa, what's going on? I can do hearts, y'all. I didn't even know that. That's a new thing. Patrick, thank you for adding better videos as experiences features. It's an awesome addition. No, I agree, man. I agree. This says Patrick's rehab of no interviews for a while failed. Great to hear you're busy. I don't know what any of that means. That is all over the place. Moon Man, why can't the aliens do us all a favor and make catastrophic disclosure already? I agree. Just show yourselves, y'all. We don't need to worry about nothing. It would all be moot. All right, let's looks like Chris found these photos. It's far more exciting. So let's jump to that. Let's bring Chris back up here. Bam. Bam. This will be better, Chris. Hang on. I think
let me see if I can zoom this in a
get
little
rid
bit.
of this. Oh yeah, look at you, dude. Yeah, you got this thing worked out. Okay,
Right.
so this is your street where you live. Let's not give anything away, y'all. We're not trying to dox Chris here. Okay.
Right. Remember,
right,
the phone was
take it
placed
away.
against the glass, so the phone doesn't move. Right.
Got it.
You'll see this white object here. I don't know why it won't stay zoomed in. There we go.
I hate that. You got
This
to do
white
it every
object
picture,
here.
man. Oh, I see it.
And then in the next shot.
Oh. Oh shit.
Yeah. I thought there was more than that. But
Dude.
this is
oh,
the
there it
bit
is. There it is. You just did it. Do that again,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, Chris. I got to admit, bro. That is effing weird.
But I
Holy
didn't.
shit.
This is the thing. I didn't see it because I just had looking out the window, the phone against the glass. I pushed the button. It took a series of photographs. I took my finger off it. Looked. There was nothing outside. This is the thing. If there was something outside in view, I wouldn't have took the shot because I wanted a clear shot. I didn't want nobody in the shot, no traffic, no people walking.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Can you do that again? The series of photos.
Where are we? Let's go back.
Dude, look at that, y'all. Look at that. Do that a few times just so we can. I mean, look at that.
But this is the thing. It's
that is
shining
nuts.
up the ground. You can see and hear this one as well. Look, it's got the actual
right there,
reflection.
right there. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, can you zoom in on this particular photo here? I agree. You can see the reflection in that back window. You're 100% right, dude.
And also,
I got to admit, man, this is pretty fascinating because you're right. The camera doesn't move.
Yeah.
The trees are moving. You can even see the trees move like
it's
it's
the van as it goes past.
Here, let's zoom in on that picture, dude. God, that is so fascinating, Chris. I got to admit, man.
I had people look at this, and it was just because also there's something underneath here. We don't know what this is. It's like an extra light or something.
Bro, I mean, I have to admit, the only thing that's interesting about it is to me, it's not reflecting off any other parts of the street or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no shadow, and there's a light right above it, right? A big lamp post.
Yeah. Yeah. The lamppost.
You know what it kind of looks like? You said it's inside of a window, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like someone flashing a flashlight across the window in the
Somebody
you know what I
suggested that.
mean?
Yeah, somebody
That's what
suggested
it
that.
looks like.
Um,
But
they
it
did
is interesting.
analyze the actual photographs, and they said it is an actual object in the street. It's not a reflection. It's not light reflecting. Because I had people turning around saying, "Oh, it's a reflection of this light up here in the street,"
No,
and
I
it's
don't think
like,
that.
no, because and
I'm
then
not saying it is, but it
no,
looks like if you were standing right behind where the camera is up against the glass, you shot a little flashlight and it made that, look like it's inside of this is old school like film, right? Remember in
yeah,
the old days when they shot film, these are the kind of projections they would use to get effects in
yeah,
films, is this
yeah.
kind of
Like
layering
say, like
glass and
having a
lights and
ghost
angles.
on it, where they have an image of a woman on
Yeah,
glass,
exactly.
and
But
then
it
it
is
looks like it's her.
fascinating, dude. I
Yeah,
have to admit the play of the different photos, right? And you can see the way it moved, like, and it is, you know, you do see one reflection in the one picture on the back to the left on the back window or door or whatever.
yeah,
I will admit
weird.
that is weird. But see right here, that light is on top of that pole.
Yeah, but this is what because somebody said it was coming down this far of the street. To me, it looks like it's more closer to this curb, and
I
because
agree.
of the light saturation, it obscures the post as it goes past
Oh,
because
interesting. I see what you're
the
saying.
light is so bright.
I
So
see what you're saying.
because we believe that this got to be a sphere, and it's elongated because of the exposure of the camera at the time.
So how did the camera take all the pictures so quick?
It was on burst. It was set on burst, so it takes a series of like 7, 8 photographs. But as soon as I
But
heard it go into burst mode, I took my finger off it quick, and I
so
caught.
you had your finger on the button to do the burst.
Yeah, because I had the
Yeah,
side button on my phone
yeah.
set to take video, but it wasn't set to video. It was set to take photos. It was a
To burst, yeah.
mistake because I
Sure.
wanted it where I got the street lamp with the light coming off the street lamp. Put a bit more light into the video so it sort of like floods the video with light, so it obscures all the background. You can just about make it out, and then that was going to be set in like a motion video where it just carries on rolling over, and that's how I was going to do it. But taking the photograph and then catching this was even better. So
No, it's fascinating, man. Have you seen this? Well, you said in the moment you didn't see the object, but have you seen in person something like this? Not on this video or another occasion or anything like
yeah,
that, or since this
um,
happened?
my best friend Dan, he was out in his back garden having a cigarette one night, and this type of object, but these was elongated. It looked like a glowing tic tac in the sky, and he took a photograph of it. And then he's also got all the metadata from his phone. He sent me all that. It looks very, very similar to this, but obviously this one's moving at speed, so it looks elongated, whereas his was flying over the valleys. Now we do
Oh,
get
got it.
fighter training pilots that use the valleys to fly in and out. You can hear them coming off a mile. You can see the strobe lights flashing. You got red and green lights on the planes. This was just pure white lights and moving at speed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is some of the things that we capture around here.
No, for sure.
But
Uh,
also, out in the sea, in the bay, they do a lot of military training.
yeah.
So, could some of this lot be that? We don't know. There's just so much that we need answering.
Look, it's definitely interesting. I 100% appreciate you sharing it. Just before we go here, Chris, can you just run through that a couple more
Yeah.
times? That little, because that's just so interesting to see. I
I
have
just
to
wish it
admit.
was a little bit closer and stayed that closer as I flick through the
No, I
screen.
know for sure. No worries. Look, people can go in the Discord, right, and get a little more
Yeah.
detail here. But yeah, I just find this little play of the videos. It is interesting,
Because
man. I'm not gonna
you
lie.
also
Very
see it
interesting.
here. The first time is
Hmm.
in this window here. It's
Okay.
off screen. You don't see it off screen here, but you see it in the window first here.
Got it.
And then as you flip through it, then it makes an appearance.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And you didn't get it going down the rest of the road?
No, my window is a bay window, so you've got two panels that are angled, and then you've got a front
Yeah.
window. This
Yeah,
was
yeah.
took out one of the side windows.
Side windows. Got
So
it.
I would
Got
have
it.
to look all the way down then to.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it with my own eyes, so
Sure.
it was only afterwards, like looking at the images and saying, "Oh, what's this? And why didn't I
Yeah.
see it?" That's
Yeah.
the thing that bugged me. Why didn't I see it? Why did only the phone pick it up?
No, I agree, man. No, I'm totally with you. All right, Costas Limenos, last comment here because I've got to go, y'all. Patrick, a point I brought up last night live on Discord. Varginha, 1996 case. The NHI allegedly smelled like ammonia, just like animals that pee themselves when they feel fear. Interesting connection. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That came out of left field, didn't it? But yeah, there you go, right there. Look, I want to thank everyone for jumping on the live stream today and hanging out with us. Thank you to all the mods in the chat that ran everything. I know Chris was probably doing that while he wasn't on, so pulling double duty, y'all. Chris pulling double duty today. I really want to thank Chris for, yeah, I really want to thank Chris for coming on, telling his own personal experience, right, and sharing these photos, which are absolutely fascinating, right? You got to see some UFO videos, UFO photos. We went through a lot of different stories. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, right after this, I'm going into the vetted Discord for the after party. You can hang out with me, talk with me, ask me any questions there. I'll be there for about 20 minutes or so. And then again, I've got an interview to do where I'll be the guest and they'll be asking me the questions. So I don't want to be late for that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.